Hey, all you recovering emo kids, Amanda and Robb here at the Emo Kids Anonymous podcast. And on today's episode, I am not only in a different location, but we are also talking to Ryan Dominguez, the lead singer of Tokyo Rose, a band that has come back after 20 years. 20 years to
20
grace us with
years.
new music, which is fantastic.
They went away before the global, the global financial crisis. They went away before.
Just
They
about the
went
same
away
time, yeah.
before, like right around the time the Hope poster with, for Obama popped up.
Yeah,
They went away right before that.
they did. Yep.
They went away before MySpace was gone.
Yep. They
Donald
went
Trump
away.
was just some dipshit on TV.
Yeah, just, trying to, let everyone know if they want to be an apprentice or not. Right before Fall Out Boy decided they were gonna go on their hiatus.
Right? Yeah.
Like, yeah.
They didn't. Not even like Fully
Yeah.
Ado hadn't even come out.
No.
Pretty Hard hadn't come out.
No.
It's a whole new world. And I think we do a cool job diving into the differences between then and now. Ryan was a great time.
Yeah,
We
he was
love
great.
Ryan. Lots of cool, like, New Jersey regional discussion here as well. A lot of
Yeah.
2006-ish discussion, as well as a lot of, like, 2026-ish
Yeah.
discussion. But before we do all that, first off, Amanda's the background, right? She's in her, like, childhood bedroom right here.
I
For all you
am.
perverts
Yeah.
watching this. Yeah, this is where Amanda lived as a child.
It is. I mean, it didn't look like this, but look, I also got this, guys, because this is an episode about the past. If you are younger of a certain age, you probably don't know, but there was a commercial about Staples saying how easy it is to buy office supplies products.
What was it? Yeah, is that what it was? It was just that it was
I think
easy to
that's
buy things at Staples?
I think so, but they had a button, an
You're
easy
outing
button.
us here. This is awesome.
And I'm going to press it for you so you can hear what it says.
That was easy.
That is, this is the 2000s in a nutshell, guys. So if you were a fan, hit that like button.
All the young people watching this know how fucking uncool we are now, Amanda. Why'd you do that?
Oh, they will think it's adorable
They
because
already
it's
knew.
us.
Yeah, no,
they know
knew.
they knew we were uncool. Yeah.
The train is just so far off the tracks.
Yes.
Before we get to the interview, so Staples is a store that probably still exists in your town.
They do.
You do your Amazon returns and pickups there, probably. There used to be whole stores just for computer stuff. Before we get to all that, do us a favor, subscribe to the podcast on the internet, EmoKidsAnonymous.com. We have a Discord. You can join it in the description. Follow us on different social media platforms, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, all those there. We got a ton of great interviews in the past. We got a ton of heaters coming up, and we got some cool stuff coming up. So follow us on the internet, okay? And as always, this episode is brought to you by our friends over at BROTEGE. We got some cool stories about the BROTEGE founder, my father figure, Gabriel Saporta. Shout out Uruguay. We talk about that. Not the nation of Uruguay. We talk about some Gabe Saporta stories on here. But as you know, Gabe is now a skincare magnate, much like Kylie Jenner. And we are deeply involved in this world as well. We are basically the Kylie and Kendall Jenners of
But he's not faking it. It's real. His skin really is young. He doesn't have lip filler.
And Kendall aren't faking it, are they?
I don't know. Their lip fillers leaves me to
That's not, their faces aren't fake, Amanda. Those are real girls.
Okay. Anyways, BROTEGE.
Really? The train is crashed. BROTEGE, it'll take your face from fucky to fresh real quick, okay? It's got retinol, it's got sunscreen, it's got minerals, vitamins, all that kind of stuff in there. Battery juice, no technical battery juice. I'm not allowed to say that anymore, Emily said. It goes on your face, throw it on once a day, whatever, it's nice, okay? You go over to BROTEGE.com, you enter EMOKIDS at checkout, you get your first bottle for $10. After that, once you're all hooked and your face is looking real nice, you go back, you enter Robb40, ROBB40 at checkout. You get 40% off every order ever at BROTEGE.com. Now, with all that being said, here's our interview with Ryan Dominguez of Tokyo Rose. Mr. Dominguez, welcome to the show.
Yes, welcome to the show. Nothing. Yeah, we're really happy to have
Whoa.
you on. Tokyo Rose coming back in the game. I was just telling Rob right
Amazing.
before we got on, I actually had a chance to see you guys live back in 2006 during Take You Back Sundays tour. Yeah.
What
Oh
was the
yeah.
venue? That was probably a pretty big ass venue you guys were playing 2006 TBS.
Yeah.
And it was the Trocadero in Philly.
I don't know why.
Rob's like,
snap,
I
what's
don't
going
like
on?
Philly. I don't know.
I mean,
Is it me?
my stance on Philly is warmed up, but
Oh,
yeah,
no.
yeah, I'm unfamiliar with the venue. Now he's gone. He was
Yeah.
here,
Hey, so sorry. I don't know what happened. I just got kicked off.
but now we can't hear you.
Now we can hear you
No,
again.
no, not again.
No,
There we go.
now we can. Now we can.
Cool.
Yeah.
So sorry. I don't know.
The app
Excellent.
is being wonky right now. Sorry.
Yeah. It's probably Riverside. It usually
Yeah.
is. Yeah. But no, yeah, Ryan. I don't know how big the Trocadero is compared to like the Electric Factory. I can't remember. It's been a long
Yeah.
time for me.
No, I mean that show was 20
Yeah,
years
but-
ago, right? And Troc was one of
yeah.
the bigger
Mhm.
rooms back then. I mean, Electric Factory definitely bigger.
It was.
I don't know. Is the Troc still around
Yeah.
today?
I think it might be called something else. I know a lot of them went through some name changes down there. I don't live in Philly anymore, so I don't get to go to those venues as often. I don't get to go to those venues anymore. But back when I did, that was again 20 years ago. But I think maybe it has been named something else. I have to check it up. But yeah.
It's when underwent renovations a couple years ago.
Oh,
There we go.
All right.
And hasn't been reopened.
Bummer.
Well, okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yes, but
hopefully
they
it
hope to
does.
reopen someday. Shout out Nickelback.
Shout out Nickelback. Yeah. Oh man. But yeah, we are so happy to have you on, Brian. Obviously you guys have a lot of stuff. Over the last year, you've kind of come back after a very, very long hiatus. Came out with that new single, Something Sweeter. You have a new one coming out April 10th. And you also have an EP, Phoenician Fire, that's coming out too soon as
That's
well.
right.
So we definitely have to dive into all of that and just talk about Tokyo Rose. So right now the lineup is you, Matt, Chris,
Sean.
and is Sean on drums?
That's right.
Yeah. Okay. So talk to us a little bit about, obviously starting at the beginning. I'd heard that it was actually the drummer from Emo Night Karaoke that kind of made you guys want to come back, or is that the story that I'm hearing? Or kind of talk us through what prompted you guys, because I think 2007 is the last time you guys had come out with that album, so it's been a minute. What prompted you guys, to really want to jump back into the scene and start making music again?
Wow, that's very comprehensive. Thank you. That's true. John Damiano with Emo Night Karaoke, hit us up out of the blue. We'd met him.
We know John.
Do you know John? He plays drums and he kind of.
We know John. I know. Well, we know him from the internet. We know Emo Night Karaoke.
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah.
they messaged us about you.
Yeah, I mean, John's
I think they
been
might
really
have, yeah.
instrumental in kind of just, opening up the lines of communication and then just kind of like gauging the temperature, We were all kind of doing life, we all kind of have families and jobs and mortgages and that kind of stuff, And John hit us up out of the blue, I want to say in the summer of 24. He's like, hey, do you guys ever do a reunion show? And you're like, I don't think we have. Like we kind of like fizzled out in like late or mid 2008. And like after playing our last tour with Bayside and Straight Light Run and 4 Years Strong, we were like, I guess we're gonna hang it up. Even though that tour was amazing and all those bands were so kind and
Yeah.
so amazing to play with. We kind of just, life kind of happened in those 15 to 18 years.
Mhm.
And we kind of moved on to different projects and like I went back to grad school and I think Chris went back to grad school and stuff. We got married and whatnot. And when John hit us up, we are like, yeah, why not? Why don't we do it? We had seen a couple of our friends get together and do reunions. Like we saw
Yeah.
Midtown do one and Houston Calls did theirs. And we're like, why not? Like we love
Yep.
those guys and it sounds like fun. And we did it
Mhm.
at Crossroads, which is kind of legendary for having those reunion shows.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, we had so much fun playing that weekend of sold out shows. we just kept doing it, you know, whenever friends were like, hey, we're doing a reunion thing. You want to come out to California or the Midwest or down to Virginia or something? You want to come and do it? And then we did those things. And then jumpsuit apparatuses, people got in touch and they're like, hey, we're doing this run. Like, we would love some support in like the kind of Northeast area. And that was awesome. Yeah, and then just all of that kind of culminated in us like really enjoying playing music together again and like really enjoying writing together. And so that's kind of how this music is put up.
What led to the original fizzle out there? Because I mean, you're on that run in 08. It sounds like things are going nice. You released an album in 07.
Yeah, you know.
What made you guys kind of say, let's take a step back?
Yeah, well, when the record came out in 07, it was like in the heyday of like LimeWire and like digital piracy stuff. So the record got leaked like 2 weeks before it came out. And so the label was like, we can't really do anything with this. So we're kind of just, you guys are kind of on your own. Just do what you can, like play the shows you can play and get the tours you can do, but we can't really back you. You know, they kind of had to hedge their bets at that point.
What label were you on?
We were on Sideshow Records, which was kind of associated with the Militia Group, which some of our, you know, best friends were on that label as well. And, you know, kind of felt like it was kind of a last hurrah to just kind of, you know, play these shows. And at the same time, you know, we'd been on the road like nonstop for, I want to say like 4, if not 5 years, you know, leading into that record. And it was just like, I think we're ready to kind of, you know, either hit pause, an indefinite pause, and it kind of just turned into a more than semi-permanent pause.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. Sorry, guys. I don't know what's happening.
It's all good.
Whew. All right. I'm trying to get it on my phone, too, just in case it drops.
Oh, you're good. You're good. I'm just glad it's not me.
Rob's always happy it's not it.
Yeah. Anyways, as you were saying, yes, the demise of the band, there's a lot of downloading and stuff going on at the time.
Yeah, man. That was rough. It was kind of like...
models changing too fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, you know, we missed out on kind of like the heyday of Facebook and, you know, we were definitely a MySpace band, you know?
Yeah.
And like the fact that all of it kind of just fizzled at the end there because, you know, music was just being disseminated and, you know, that's how we were able to stay on the road, you know, sell CDs and, you know, get enough gas to get to the next show. So it was kind of a bummer that we weren't able to do that at that point.
Yeah. And it doesn't help, too, that you're already a little bit burnt out because you said you've been touring nonstop. And I know a lot of bands back then. I mean, from 2004 to 2007, I'd say many bands were constantly on the road with very limited days off. And I'm sure that...
very little amenities.
Yeah, very little amenities. Yeah. So I'm sure that doesn't help either when you get your album leaked, you're already exhausted, and you're like, now what? You know, kind of have that feeling. Yeah. So in the ensuing years, I mean, I'm sure as you are going about your life, you're seeing, you know, what's going on in the scene. You probably have kind of like a pulse in the scene. What did you start to like notice as the emo pop punk scene has evolved from when you guys were in it in the heyday to, you know, by the time you guys start to return? I mean, did you start to notice a shift back to the popularity of the music, and you know, what were you noticing, or did you notice anything as you were just kind of like doing your own thing and everything like that?
Yeah, you know, it was interesting because, you know, I feel like DJ culture kind of like started to really grow and, you know, take over in the clubs, right?
Started.
Yeah, it sure did.
At some point right around there, like, yeah, like right after that, like 09, 2010 or so, the DJs took our jobs.
Yeah, Skrillex.
Like,
yeah.
They took our damn jobs. Like a Friday or Saturday night, maybe they'd take a chance. Like a touring act is one thing, but maybe you're that local band trying to come up. Like all of a sudden, those Friday and Saturday night gigs were not available because they're giving it to a fucking DJ instead.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I mean, big ups to Sonny, to Skrillex. Like,
Yeah.
he pivoted, and he's just an uber talented person to be able to do that, and
Yeah.
such a nice guy. I mean, like one of the nicest people that we got to meet on Warped Tour, on one
Nice.
of our stints, and everybody
Yeah.
knew Sonny. Everybody loved Sonny. So, to see kind of
And he would
Skrillex
have
take off, it was like that
he would
makes
have been like a
sense.
baby at
It
that
makes
time too,
sense.
right? He would have been
Oh,
very,
Oh
he
very
yeah,
was.
young.
very,
Mhm.
very young. And he's kind of a smaller guy too. So you're always like, who's that kid
Yeah.
running around?
Right? Yeah, I was
Yeah,
just yeah, he's like a teenager at this point, and like, I can
yeah,
imagine, like, a Fletcher from Pennywise or something being like, "What the fuck is" like,
yeah,
Whose
yeah.
kid is that?"
Yeah,
It's like,
Yeah.
"No, in 5 years, he's gonna be able to buy this festival." Like
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, but I mean, DJ culture, and I think, with the advances in technology, we weren't really, I was, saying to somebody else, like, we didn't really get GarageBand, we weren't really like demoing stuff in GarageBand like until the third record, people like were able
Yeah.
to like produce stuff on their own, without having a label backing, and then
Mhm.
we're really using kind of their social media channels to really promote. Like you didn't have to play a show to get a crowd out. Like you just had to have really
Yeah.
active socials, And
Mhm.
we were like, we're too boring to have a social presence.
you had to get a little wild at that time. It became very social media oriented around
Yeah.
MySpace era, '07.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You
And
had to get
social
those
media
numbers
back
up.
then was a lot different than it is now. I mean, what have you noticed since coming back and starting the Tokyo Rose, like, Instagram and TikTok, et cetera? What's the biggest thing you've noticed in terms of how different it is dealing with your social media presence in
Yeah.
2026?
It's like socials are like a full-time job. And it's hard to
Yeah.
do that, I think, when you're in a band, because being in a band is a full-time job, and then
Mhm.
when you have a full-time job on top of being in a band as well, it's like, how do you manage all you like, you need a manager, like a social media manager,
Yeah. Mhm.
somebody to follow you around and to, like, cue you in on stuff. Especially,
Yeah.
like, got dudes like us who are, we're, like, in our 40s now, so it's like, okay,
Yeah.
Yeah, you did not
you
come
know?
up there's a I feel like like, bands now, like, were at least, like it's like a Dark Knight Rises Bane situation where they were, like, raised in it, molded by it kind of thing, but, like,
Yeah.
especially if,
Right,
like, you mentioned even, like, the GarageBand thing, like, when you're in junior high, like, DAWs and digital recording is just becoming a thing, so, yeah, like, it's just a few
right,
years later, that's not a thought, social media is not a thing, and all of a sudden it's like, "Oh, this became high school again, like, it's kind of a popularity contest, and
right,
musicians are
Yeah.
usually kind of a lot of times introverted or, they're definitely not
totally.
the best at waving their arms and grabbing people's attention, which is what, like 70% of this is.
Pretty
Yeah,
much.
totally.
Yeah. It's crazy. So now coming back, what did you notice? Like, obviously you all have grown, you evolved personally. So what have been some of the biggest changes to how the band operates now that you are fully formed adults who have lived some lives in the ensuing 20 years?
Yeah, I think back then it was all about the hustle, right? Because we were
Mhm.
living hand to mouth, and like hand to gas tank, really, just trying to get from
Yeah.
show to show. I think now it's like we're doing it more out of enjoyment of being together, of playing music
Yeah.
together, of reconnecting with old friends who we hadn't seen in a long time, and meeting their kids, and people that they've introduced Tokyo Rose to. So we've been saying this whole time, again, this kind of comeback. It's like, if people want us to come out and play, like, we'll do our best to come out and play. If people
Yeah.
stop asking for us to play, then we'll hang it up again. Because it
Yeah.
basically is just an opportunity to just hang out with people that we haven't seen in a while.
I love that. Yeah, and the reception's been amazing. I mean, like you said, just as soon as you started playing shows, the sold out shows, the response, I mean, how has it what does it feel like for you knowing that there are people, behind you who've been, like, yearning for this for quite some time?
Yeah, I mean, it's super encouraging and really humbling, to think that like stuff that we did 20 years ago like still resonates with people now, and that
Yeah.
people like followed us. I think somebody asked on like Insta, like, what's the band's Facebook page, and like we didn't even have a Facebook page, so we are like, we looked it up, and there was an actual band fan page, and
Oh,
which is
wow.
amazing. So, because we
Yeah.
hadn't, really poured into that at all, and just to
Mhm.
connect with those people finally, it's been really cool.
So you got to connect with the people who made the fan page?
Yeah, yeah, we
Oh
like
boy, what
exchanged
was their
messages and
reaction
stuff.
what was their reaction when they first got a message from
They
you like,
thought they were
"Wait,
about to get
what?"
cease and desisted.
Right.
Yeah, I'm
They're
so
like, "Is
curious.
this real? Like, are
That's
you, in the
yes.
band?"
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Yeah.
It's probably
That
nice
has
to
to
be
be
able to play
surreal.
music and not have it be like back then, it's like the only option, I imagine, it's like there's like almost a gun to your head. We need to be successful, this and that. Whereas now you're like, oh, I'm just doing this for fun. I can enjoy this again. And like you can smell the roses for a second and not worry about like pocket watching or what's next.
Right, absolutely. It's kind of, like reminiscing about the old scene and like just
Mhm.
being, on the clock, right? Like, hey, like this is the end of this album cycle. So like,
Yeah.
what do you have
What's
next
next?
in,
Yeah.
yeah, what's next in the quiver?
Yeah. And that's
Especially in
where
an
I
area
guess
like that, yeah, where
yeah.
where other bands are coming up and all of a sudden doing very well. It's like, well, fuck, we just did this, and who's this
Yeah.
one
Right.
now? They just it back then. There's a little more like it's a horse
Whew.
racy kind of thing.
Yes.
Totally.
And the
Totally.
labels definitely made it feel that way too, I'm
Oh
sure.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
they have their way of, like really trying to make the next big thing, right? And try to ride that
Mhm.
wave. So you can't
Yeah.
blame them, and then that's all there really was back then. Now
Yeah.
I feel like bands need to kind of make their name before the label even touches them.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
they won't. I was talking to our mutual friend from Midtown, the tall one, and one of the first
Yeah,
things he ever said to me was like, labels don't waste their time with artist development anymore. He's like, the music business is
right.
dead. Besides like a couple pop artists on Atlantic in the past decade, like there's no more of that. Like
Sure.
that you need to build your following online, and then they're kind of just like they're just helping you scale up a little.
Right.
They're
Right.
they're fucking yeah, they're startup investors. They're hedge funding you.
Right. There's Shark Tank.
Right?
The
Yeah, they're
Shark
just
Tank
yeah, they're
essentially,
Shark
yeah.
Tank you, but every deal sucks.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
sharks always win.
They're just another version of private equity. But, speaking of record labels, I guess that brings me to, my next question, which Manic Cat, 'cause that's where you're doing the EP. So how
Mhm.
did that relationship come about?
Yeah, so Pete and Manicat, they've kind of been around the scene for a little bit, like the last decade
Mhm.
they're celebrating. And Pete has been in bands, all through like the 2000s and late 90s, and he's been screwed over by like majors and labels.
Yeah, I
So
bet.
he's really kind of started this label to make sure that doesn't happen to bands, like new
Yeah.
bands or old like kind of legacy bands like he calls us. He signed Amber Pacific, and
Yeah, I
that
saw
band
that.
was one of the bands that like, we used to see everywhere, and like they really did some
Mhm.
amazing stuff, and they still do. And the fact that they, trust Pete to not screw them over, we're like, okay, that
Yeah.
that makes sense. We can sign on to that. And yeah, so Pete's like, he runs a label, but he's a band guy, and he used to write for the Aquarian and some other local
Yeah.
music press and stuff. So he like really knows how to kind of work situations to the band's advantage. Whereas, and like he hasn't been nickel and diming us. He's very much
Oh,
like
that's
a
nice, yeah.
let's work on what you guys have and let's put it out, and and then we'll see what happens. It's been really cool like that.
Yeah. I love that. It's important to have someone running the label who is for the artist first and not just for the ROI,
Yeah.
essentially.
Totally.
There's a
Yeah.
lot less
Mhm.
ROI now, so if they're in it for the ROI, they
Yeah.
are the shittiest business people on the
Yeah.
planet. Like, start up like an
Yeah.
NFT or a rug pull or something. Like, if you're
Yeah,
like
or an AI company. Maybe
yeah,
that's where you're
yeah,
gonna see
yeah.
it.
Just yeah, like if I feel like that, yeah, 90s, 2000s, there's still like a lot of people have starry eyes with the record industry, So it's
Mhm.
you get in, like we got to get in on this thing, Like most of the smaller labels now, like oh, they're all ran by freaking sweethearts.
Right.
Yeah,
Most,
Yeah.
most.
most of them, yeah.
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 So you guys came out with Something Sweeter, in January, which I love that song because it doesn't feel derivative of your like, it sounds like some of your old stuff, but, like, in a new way, but not derivative where it's like you're trying to placate older fans or just trying to play up the nostalgia factor? Because there are a lot of bands who haven't put out new music in a while, and then they put out new music. You're like, that just sounds like you're clearly trying to replicate your sound, right? But with something sweeter, it sounds like more, it sounds modern, yet also still sounds very much like Tokyo Rose, which I love. And I know you were talking in another podcast about how when you started looking at your music, you kind of looked at some of your older stuff, like stuff that probably never made it to the other albums, and reworked some things, started to do some remixing and things like that. So tell us a little bit about going into that process of starting to write this new music for the new EP. What were you looking to kind of explore with your sound for 2026 for this new version of Tokyo Rose?
Yeah, no, it's a great question. I think, all of this kind of came about through that conversation with John, and then we rediscovered our, enjoyment of playing with each
Yeah.
other, and then writing together. So both Sean and Matt, the drummer and lead guitar player, had played in Tokyo Rose at different times on different tours,
Okay.
but didn't actually play together. And neither of them are on any of our records. They were more like touring musicians.
Yeah.
Gets a little
But we
confusing.
always, yeah. Oh man. Like if you ever have time, if you go to the band's Wikipedia page, we have like a kind of revolving
It
door.
gets a little
Yeah,
wild down
You've
there.
seen it. Yeah.
it gets wild, and that's not even the full extent of it.
Dang.
And then so I think just this combination of musicians and our different influences and playing styles. I was talking with Chris in the studio the other day, and I said how like it feels like any style of music that I'm feeling, like we can play it.
Yeah.
Because everybody's such a diverse musician and everybody has these amazing chops and influences, that putting it all together and then like singing a drum beat to Sean and him being able to play it, and like humming a guitar
Yeah.
line to Matt and him being able to play it, and then Chris knowing exactly what to play on bass, just like it feels like I'm a kid in a candy store. So it's basically, like my songwriting from back then, but I'm 20 years older now, and then I have like these amazing tools at my disposal. No, did it
Did it
happen
pause?
again?
I think
You gotta be kidding
Oh,
me.
okay, I thought I pressed something.
Oh,
There
We're
we
back.
go.
You're
There we
back.
go.
You're
You're
back.
back. Oh, it's like,
Sweet.
fuck, he froze. Anyways,
Yep,
Awesome.
I'm
Like
here.
tools at your disposal. That's the last I heard. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's been like, and then the fact that like these guys are all really into it and we're really enjoying it together, it makes it really rewarding.
I love it. So what themes are you exploring in this new music?
Yeah. I think a lot of it is kind of like what have we been doing these last, almost 20 years? And, I mean, breakups make the best emo and pop punk songs, so we're kind of, we kind of dip our toe into that, but from kind of like hindsight lens, like, hey, like
Yeah.
breakups suck, but maybe that one was a good one, or breakups suck, but maybe this is all for the better.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Yeah. That sounds like some IG reels. I've seen a lot
right?
of
Yeah.
like that in this day
Yeah.
and age. That is the new way of looking at it. Yeah,
I
'cause I
feel
was
like
curious.
that's interesting though. That's the
Yeah.
difference between emo, like third wave emo, and emo now. Is like our era was very breakup song oriented, like very narrative based. I feel like
Right.
emo now is more about like it's like more turmoil with yourself than turmoil with others.
Yeah, looking
Is that, am
back
I
at
For
it.
like,
sure.
you know what I mean? Like it's changed a little, yeah.
Yeah, you gotta have this outside lens on it now.
Yeah, exactly. Hindsight's always 2020, right?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
technically.
Yeah. That's why I was curious, like Ugly comes out, the new single. I was like, I wonder what that's gonna be about.
Oh yeah. Yeah, well, originally, when we these songs kind of like started to come about and then kind of got tucked away in the vault, for all
Yeah.
those years. But originally, Something Sweeter and Ugly were kind of like two sides of like a 7-inch in my mind.
Oh,
It's
nice.
like
Okay.
it's about a relationship that went sour, you know, and like what the first side
Yeah.
was really sweet and the second side gets sour. So
Ooh.
it's yeah,
Oh, that's
some
pretty sick.
Okay, these
Okay,
are
I
these
see what
are
you're doing
partner
here.
songs. Ooh, I like
Yeah.
this. That's
There's
exciting.
not enough sister songs in this world like that on
No.
purpose. I like that. I
Mm-mm.
like that a lot.
Yes.
yeah.
Now
Yeah.
you can, like, listen to them, like, the great thing is now you're giving people a chance to listen to them side by side and hear an entire narrative play out, essentially. A story.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I
Yeah.
can like that's the hindsight of it, right? You're like, okay, I'm on the other side of it now. I can see where it went wrong
Yeah.
or, you know, and why it's
Mhm.
better off this way.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
have an
that's
important
fantastic.
question about a regional tie here. Obviously, at that
Yeah.
time, there's a lot of New Jersey bands coming
Oh,
up.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Obviously, we know there's something in the water that makes the bagels and the pizza and stuff better there. But what is it in the water there that makes bands better? What makes New Jersey so special, and is it still special?
Yeah, you know, I think it is. I think a lot of it, you know, stemmed from kind of the fact that winters are really harsh and you had to kind of go through the winters to, you know, to earn your few bucks to go to Warped Tour in Asbury or to go to the Jersey Shore.
That's
You know,
right.
you kind of internalize that grit. But now, you know, to be honest, I feel like a lot of that is moving towards Philly. Like the scene in Philly is like really thriving,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know. And it never went away, but like I just feel like the New Jersey scene is kind of yeah, migrated to Philly because I know a lot of South Jersey kids like moved to Philly and then, you know, a lot of
Mhm.
like New Brunswick and like you know, like Central Jersey tends to move towards Philly too. And I think it's just kind of breeding that. You know, and Philly has its own natural grit, of course.
Yeah, of
But I
Yeah,
course.
think
I've experienced.
just
Yeah.
yeah, I just think it's all kind of you know, kind of coming together into it coming to fruition down there.
I
Yeah.
don't feel good
Oh,
about
y
asking you this, but it
Right.
will get more views than anything else we talk about for some reason. New Jersey or New York, where's the better pizza?
Oof. You know, I'm a North Jersey guy, so I'm gonna have to say Jersey. Like I live in Jersey City now, and like the Times
beautiful.
voted two of our pizzerias the best pizza in New York.
Which ones? Which
So,
ones? So
uh,
when we
Ru-
go visit.
yeah, Raza Pizza in
Okay.
downtown Jersey City, and then Bread and Salt in the Jersey City Heights neighborhood where I live.
I love
Two
it.
of the best pizzas. Like one is like Roman style, which is and it's open these really strange hours, like 10 to 4 on a weekday.
That's the way it should
Interesting.
be. I respect
Yeah,
businesses that have no care for customer service.
no care for customer service. He just makes it when he wants, and he eats it and feeds it to his loyals. You know.
Love it.
Yeah.
Sick. I love that. I was asked earlier today where would I move to. I think Jersey City just made a giant jump towards the top of the list.
Sweet man, we need you. We need you.
Yeah,
Yeah. You
beautiful.
always you I love
I
that
have
pizza
like a
is
little
your
New
defining
I'm New
factor.
Jersey at spirit in heart. Like I'm a
There
little
you go.
Jerseyan.
Yes, you
That's
really
awesome.
are. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I get a little bit jealous of the Philly scene because the other what is it? A couple weeks ago, right in front of the street in front of where I used to live in college, one of the bands that we had on the show, 10 Month Summer, they were doing a basement show, and I was like,
Oh
I don't remember that
yeah.
happening when I went to Temple University
Oh
from
wow.
2004 to 2008, and that literally was in my backyard. I am so jealous right
Oh
now.
man.
Like,
Oh this yes, what is it? Spring Gardens up there? It's
oh yeah, yeah.
it, I don't know if they could have had basement shows back then.
They could have, yeah. Spring Garden,
Yeah.
we had a couple of them, but, maybe in hindsight, they would have been pretty big. But, at the time, it's like no one was talking about too many bands from Philly or that they did were like from Jersey. So, but yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty cool to see it evolve that way. Um, yeah, so you have been doing a lot of shows recently, kind of one-off stuff. You've been you talked about Red Jumpsuit Apparatus, you were with Audio Karaoke. You did the emo night karaoke. You actually did play for them, right? So
That's right.
what's that experience like? Because obviously emo night karaoke is similar to a lot of different emo nights, except people come up and sing. Is that correct? I've never been to a karaoke one.
Yeah, I mean, like
With a
there's
band?
there's a live band, and our friend John plays drums, and they have other musicians from other bands from back in the day, John played in a band called Southcott and a band called Thieves and Villains that was signed to Victory.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Mhm.
and then a couple of their members are also in the Emo Night bands. They have different bands in different regions, but in like the Northeast is where it kind of came up, and like playing in front of their like loyals who come out and buy tickets and sign
Yeah.
up to sing karaoke was a totally new experience because a lot of the kids like hadn't heard of us before, because we weren't
Oh,
really
yeah.
active.
Yeah.
So to be able to play like our music in front of them helped us make a lot of new fans, which was really
It's
cool.
true.
Sick.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the fact that those guys are doing it, and like traveling all across the country and even the UK, playing
Yeah.
these covers of some of our favorite bands and favorite songs, it's pretty rad. I mean, that's what we used to do in our basements, like at
That's
our,
right.
at our house
Let
in
the homie
Rutgers
that's not in
before.
yeah, you have a few buddies over and let buddy pop up and say, "All right, like, we know
Exactly.
Sugar, we know Blitzkrieg, like, what do you want what page again?
Exactly.
Like, we got a handful here we can all do.
Exactly.
Like,
Right. Like
you wanna
with
play
a
bass?
sixer
Like,
and
you
you're
know
good to
this one?
go.
Yeah. You
Right. You
right? Yeah.
switch instruments.
Yeah.
Yep.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
That is really
Beautiful.
cool. Yeah. So you started to see a response from like, I guess I would say younger fans, but like newer fans. And, have you noticed a difference in how fans respond today versus how they would have back, in the early 2000s?
Yeah, I mean, I think now too, because music is, digital, it's hard to sell hard copies of music unless it's, something really unique or
Yeah.
a collector's item. So, even
Yeah.
with the vinyl represses, like that's what we can sell because we don't have
Yep.
CDs anymore.
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
then, people don't, at least in our experience, like don't always buy shirts to show their support. Like they'll buy
Yes.
tickets and then they'll like you and pre-save you and
Yep.
like
The
follow
game's
you
done changed
online.
so much. I feel like
Yeah.
have you ever watched The Boondocks?
Yeah.
This is probably a
Absolutely.
terrible comparison, but it's like when Martin
Right.
Luther King Jr. like wakes up, it's like where it's like you're gone from the industry, and it's so different now. You're
It's so different.
like back in the day, I think of like going to see the match. Like you mentioned Bayside. Later that year, they
Yeah.
toured with the Matches in '08, and it's like I remember
Right.
after the Matches played, they'd be walking around between sets selling the CDs. Like I don't have a.
Totally.
I talk to bands all day, blah blah blah. I don't have a CD player in this fucking house. Like you're
Right.
not doing that anymore. And it's like, what are you gonna walk around just holding up like blouses, like you're like a bootlegger outside the arena
Right.
show? Like,
Like QR codes, like
right? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
On the shirt. Yeah.
It's even like like burnt CDs back in the day. We do like now that would be like a coaster for my drink or something.
right.
It's changed so much. Where yeah, you're talking about like pre-saving, and even like the way, like as a MySpace band. The shift from MySpace into like Facebook, Instagram, there was this like dead zone
Mhm.
as like bands, like
Yeah.
it sucked. It's Twitter,
Yeah.
like you couldn't reach people. There was no algorithms.
It
Right.
did
But
not
then
really
it's changed
exist.
so much where like you're just promoting singles and all of a sudden everyone's buying like people weren't buying vinyl like that for you guys in 2000. Did you guys even print vinyl
Right.
back then?
No, we didn't even have vinyl back then.
No.
Wow. And
Yeah.
now that's pretty much what you are
Yeah.
printing. Yeah, it's
Yep.
the bread and butter right
You'll
there.
sell more cassette tapes in 2026 than you will CDs.
Right.
It makes no
People love their
sense.
cassette. They appreciate the old stuff. I don't know.
It's
I like
true.
my vinyl collection. Yeah, it's pretty nice. Yeah, speaking of merch, on our Never Phase network, we had like a prompt the other day about like cool merch that bands should be, unusual merch, things that they should be maybe, trying out instead of the typical band shirts.
Mhm.
Um, what's some of the merch you've done in the past that you thought was pretty unique? And, are you guys trying different things with what you're out there, peddling to the fans, or you sticking with the old
Pedaling, I like
reliables?
that.
Are you sticking with the old reliables?
Yeah, I mean, we haven't tried anything too radical yet, but I just saw a clip of this like a CEO with a lollipop that plays music when it's in your mouth. I
Oh
would
yeah,
love to be
This is
able
a
to,
thing?
yeah, it's a
it is a
thing.
thing. Yeah.
like to put a single on a lollipop. I think that'd be an amazing way to get it out.
You don't understand. Gen Z would really go hard for that. Like that
Yeah.
would be they love their like.
I'm the
their
youngest person here.
sweets,
You
like-
guys I have no idea what you guys are talking about. This is
You
the
never
craziest
heard-
thing I've ever heard.
I have seen this. Yeah.
Really?
Okay,
Yeah.
yes.
So like it's a
I'll
lollipop
send you
that
a video.
you could eat. Like it's a normal lollipop. Where's the
Yeah.
speaker?
I
In the
think it's
stick?
like you like hear
Yeah.
it resonate in the bones in your head, kind of thing. Like,
It's like-
when it's in your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Oh Jesus. Yeah, that's
Yeah. I mean, you know,
Yeah,
you get
that's-
one listen,
wow.
but it's still
Yeah.
rad. I mean, I don't know how much you can sell it for, but you know, the whole experience.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, the novelty alone, I would at least try that a couple times. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure like it takes a while to get that lollipop to go down, so you probably listen to that song on repeat for like
Right? How many
good little
licks
bit.
does it take to get to the center of a
yeah.
Tootsie Pop? You know?
That's
How many
right.
plays does it get to get
Yeah.
to the bottom of the
Till it
Tokyo
gets
Rose
stuck
Pop?
to your head, and
There
then
you
it's all
go.
of a sudden your earworm that you can't get out for like the next year.
Yeah.
Magic. You
Okay,
guys do
that
like
would
a
be
lot
really
of I call it like there was kind of like this little more indie jazzy feel in the scene. I think of like a Gatsby's American Dream, like a little more of like that
Oh,
Casey Bates
wow.
Pacific Northwest sound. You guys kind of
Yeah.
have that as well. Like there's some like interesting chords in the like you use. Were you by chance church kids?
Church, no, not growing up, but like pseudo jazz. Like we kind of
There we
like
go. Were you like
Okay.
music lesson kids, like something like that? Where I was
yeah.
like, there is a true like just like in the rhythms and stuff. It reminds me, yeah, like I think of Gatsby's or like a Forgive Durden.
Oh wow. Thanks, man. I really, you know, really loved Gatsby's especially, but Forgive Durden was
Mhm.
always a rad band to see play because they were so intricate with their
Right.
their
Oh,
rhythms.
yeah,
Yeah.
silly.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, we love bands like Park, who we just played with in junior varsity from, you know, Chicago area. And like, you know, just the way that they use all the different instruments, kind of playing different things at the same time. Yeah, we really appreciated that. Thanks. That's such a
I bought a
compliment.
junior varsity CD on accident one time. I think I thought it was The Academy Is. Like I'm just a kid reading Absolute Punk. And I think I got it mixed. I don't know, it's close enough. And I got the junior
Right.
Makes
varsity
sense.
CD instead, and I didn't like it at all. And then like a year
Uh-huh.
later, I went back to it and was like, "Oh, this is so good! Like,
Oh, yeah.
this is great."
Yeah, well, I mean, Academy was like so undeniable, like just pop, like, you
And
know.
so I thought I was
straight to the-
getting some bubble gum, yeah. And I was like, "This
Yes.
is a little more indie for my like." I had to mature, you know. I had to
Totally,
go from
totally.
16 to 17.
I
jump.
mean, he's still there a little bit, but yeah, he's
Yeah.
matured a little bit.
Yeah, the frontal lobe still isn't totally developed, but like at this point, yeah, it was rough.
It's good stuff.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah. So, so now that you're back in action and you're playing shows, what's different for you guys in terms of playing live shows now versus back then? What are some of the differences you've noted? Whether
So
it be
much.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, back then, like we didn't have in-ears, you know, we didn't
Oh,
have,
dang.
we very rarely had like floor monitors. So you were just turning your amp up as loud as you can go, right? And then,
Yep.
Are you kidding me?
you know, trying to sing and like move around stage with,
Yeah.
you know, trying to be able to hear it. You know, I think I'm definitely suffering from hearing loss, you know.
I've
Oh, no.
I've never thought of that before. Like I think of like I joke that like you didn't have to be a good singer in pop punk and stuff until like Patrick Stump came along and stuff. But even then, I
Right.
think of those early Patrick days. Sorry, Amanda, cover your ears. Like Patrick wouldn't sound great in a lot of them sometimes, you know. And
Sure.
I'm just like every band we talk to now has in ears.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody,
Mhm.
you have in ears for your first show, and it's like you don't even have like you don't got floor monitors. Like
Yeah.
you can't hear yourself. That's fucking insane.
Oh
Like
yeah, we used to have to like cram like toilet paper, like ball up toilet paper and stick it in your
Oh,
ears
that's crazy.
to
that's
protect your ears,
insane.
or to even be able to hear, you kind of like reference something in your head, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's been a
Wow.
big change. You know, the fact that, you know, like even now, like the venues that we'll play don't have a drum wedge because drummers will usually have in ears. So like our drummer's like, wait, how am I gonna feel? You know, how am I
Oh,
gonna feel
wow.
everything? So
Yeah.
that's been a big
It's like, no, you
shift.
got the click, 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 click in your ear.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
Yep.
good.
Mhm.
You're
Yeah,
like,
we were
"Shit, I
never a
can't hear
band that
the
could do
crowd."
that. Exactly. We were never a
Wow.
band that like was able to pull it off. Like technology wasn't there yet. You know, we tried to
Yeah.
do it a couple of times for some bigger shows or some showcases and stuff, but it always kind of something would go awry. Like one of the wires would be frayed or something, so we just
Yeah.
like would throw them out. You know?
It
Yeah.
never worked. Yeah, but unless you had the very good
Yeah.
$5,000 setup with the multiple packs running off
Exactly.
one feed. Like unless you had that, like every show
Yeah.
would be cooked. It was a
Yeah.
much harder time technology wise. Like you
Absolutely.
youngsters watching
Absolutely.
today, you don't know how easy you got it. You little
I
prick.
Oh my
know.
goodness. Yeah. You can't bring your laptop to a show. It's like, what? You
Did
know?
you imagine that back then? If someone hooked up like
Yeah.
like their translucent like purple MacBook
Right.
on stage next to the drummer,
That's
like
Yeah.
it would have been
you
like a
just do
Marty
it.
McFly thing. Like I don't even think we would have like bullied them or talked shit. It would have
no.
been like, what are they like?
Are you from the future? Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Zoolander when they're with the computer
Yeah.
thing. Like we would have had no
Yeah.
clue what to do.
Totally.
Exactly.
I remember seeing like Receiving Into Sirens, and like they were all in sync because they had like Casey had his laptop, and then they all
Yeah.
had like these digital floor pedal board things, and they were all like in sync. All the lights were flashing in time. It's like, how did they do that? Like I can't even
Yeah.
tune my guitar sometimes, like because I don't have ears. And
Yeah.
you know, another band that was just incredible, and like even before Casey left or after Casey left, they were still incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's
Oh, now
crazy.
everything
This
hurts too after playing a show. Like after
everything.
playing, like it's oof. Well, I wasn't
Okay,
feeling that
yeah.
before.
That guitar
Yeah,
feels. What are you playing
yeah.
on?
I'm still playing my Les Paul, but I need to downgrade a
Oh,
little.
you're insane. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
oh my god, that's so heavy, brother. You guys switch to
yeah,
like a telly or something like one of the
exactly,
like the single hollow kind of thing. Like get some weight
exactly.
cut out of that, like
I
and a
gotta do
brace
it,
underneath the shirt.
right?
Damn. I mean, I'm
Yep.
little, so the idea of like playing a Les Paul for like 15 minutes standing up, I'm like, no, bro.
Oh
Like
man.
I'm
No, I mean
cooked.
seeing Jimmy from Jimmy World do it for so long, and Anthony from Bayside do it for so
Yes.
long. It's like they're not big guys. Like if they can do it, I
No.
No.
can do it. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good determination right
Good
there.
mentality.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like, and so what about your mentality? Like, you have to be the lead singer. You have to be that persona. Like, how do you get that back after all those years? Like, stepping up to the plate, getting on stage, and bringing all that charisma that that you have to bring. How do you, what goes through your
Yeah.
mind to get yourself ready to bring all that back on stage? That has to be wild.
It's funny, in the time that has passed, I've become a preschool teacher, and I've been a preschool teacher for
Oh
over 10
wow,
years now. So I
that is
have to kind of dial it
fantastic.
in. Yeah,
Yeah.
I do have to
So you're
dial it
you're
in the
still
mornings.
performing in your own way. Yeah. Still working the crowd.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Maintaining
after
attention. That's the main thing is you need to keep people's attention.
exactly. Right.
What better
Yes.
group to test on than preschoolers?
Right?
Yes.
They're just
I
like,
was gonna ask
Yes.
you, you have
puppies on
kids?
a walk. I got one. I got a 10-year-old.
Does your 10-year-old
Same.
think this is cool or is dad lame as hell?
Oh, I'm so lame. He's like, "What are
I
you
was gonna say
doing?"
this is
Like,
that's like I feel like my daughter's 4. I think she would think
yeah,
this is really cool. Like if your kid's like
right.
6 or something, this is super like 9
Yeah.
to 14, like
Is he is he
embarrassing,
is
dad.
he saying you're cooked and you're unk and all that stuff?
Oh yeah, he's a cool unk.
Yeah.
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 Chopped? Yeah, don't worry, I'm
Chopped.
Yeah.
chopped too. It's okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so am I.
Yeah,
absolutely.
we're
My
all
10-year-old
chopped. We're all
my
chopped cooked
10-year-old
unks.
tells me that all the time. My
Oh man.
4-year-old thinks my music is amazing. Everything that I
Yeah.
listen to.
Yeah.
Yes.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Watching her sing along to Bill Murray is probably the most hilarious thing in the world.
Oh man, that's amazing.
Good guy.
Yeah. Oh, she big fan of emo
I
music,
saw
my 4-year-old.
Matt Cutshaw posted like 2 days ago about his daughter liking her favorite emo band, or his son's favorite emo band is Taylor Swift. I'm like, yeah, I think my kid's
Ooh,
favorite band is K-pop Demon Hunters right now.
I was
So
literally gonna say the only other
also
Yeah.
mine, yes.
yeah,
The Easter
my kids
basket
aren't
was
on that yet. I'm
all
very lucky.
K-pop Demon Hunter
yeah.
stuff from Five Below. Thank you, Five Below. It was
There you
fantastic.
Thank you.
go.
Yeah, that's at least affordable. That's not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're doing the right thing in the right markets. Yeah, but that's interesting. Would you ever want your songs like you see all those like pop punk lullabies and stuff that I know they've done like Yellow Card has one they've
Oh,
done,
yeah.
and
The
Fall Out Boy.
Rockabye Baby people or whatever they're
Yeah,
called?
would you ever
Yeah.
like your stuff to be put in a lullaby like that?
You know, I
For
think
the kids
it
you
could be
teach?
cool. It would be cool. You know, I
Yeah.
have an Eminem one that I used to play my kids. So
Eminem
Bum,
one.
bum, 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 bum,
yep,
bum, bum, bum,
yeah,
bum, 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 bum.
it's
Yeah,
I
still
it's
in
don't
the
think
six
adorable
I...
with the
CD
little
changer somewhere.
with the little glockenspiel. That's
Oh,
cute.
Yep.
see? Ryan sells a 6 CD changer. You could get one, Rob. I even have a
Yeah.
CD player.
A 6-disc CD changer. You got one? Was that JVC?
It's a
It's a Sony.
a teak.
No?
It's from like
Teak?
it's got to be from '96 or something. It's
Oh,
super old.
Dang.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
think it's time I get. Yeah, I'm gonna get I'm
it's a
gonna get like
beautiful
I want
relic.
to get a JVC kaboom box. Is what I
There you
want.
go.
Yes.
That's what
Yeah.
you need.
Now, do you ever find yourself on stage pulling out the preschooler, like, teacher, like, reprimanding?
Snapping out of it.
Oh, sometimes, yeah. You know,
Really?
yeah, like the teacher trick of like lowering your volume to get everybody to kind of pay attention. It
See?
works on stage too. Absolutely.
Yep. I love that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that whole that a little bit louder now, that whole thing, that works.
Yep.
A little bit
Yeah.
softer now.
Magical. You guys, first off, actually, let me ask you a question. What is the tri-state area? Because we
Ooh.
interviewed a band, the Palette Knife, Amanda. They said the tri-state area was like Ohio and Kentucky and shit, and I
No,
thought it was
it's
New Jersey, New
it's
York, and like Philly.
Pennsylvania.
Yeah,
Like, yeah, that
Ooh.
yeah.
is that
Some
it?
people say Pennsylvania, some people say Connecticut.
Connecticut, right? I've heard
Oh,
Connecticut.
that's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Interesting. What do you say? This is gonna get you in hot water here. This is the
This
most
is gonna get me in
controversial
hot
take you can
water.
make.
I think it's gonna have to include Pennsylvania now. I mean, because Philly's just become like a second home to us after all these years.
I
And
love it.
Philly's, yeah, I mean, Philly's way cooler than any city in Connecticut. You know.
That's
Go
also
fuck
true,
yourself,
yeah.
New
I've been to
Haven, man.
Connecticut. I got in a car accident in Connecticut when I was in college, so yeah, Philly all day long.
Damn, that's a great memory.
Yeah.
It was not a fun memory.
So of the bands from that time, obviously there's a lot of them that blew up and from the Census Fails, TBS in Long Island, blah, blah, blah. What was the one band back then who, like, locally, maybe to you guys, like amongst your peers or fans, was the band that was the biggest of them
Ooh.
all? Maybe they blew up, maybe they didn't, maybe they fell apart. Because I always feel
Yeah.
like in your scene, there's one band that like, it's never the best band that becomes the biggest band,
Right.
Yeah.
Who
Right.
was the best band?
Ooh, the best band. I think the band that like put Jersey like on like the national like radar for us, I think was Midtown. Midtown and Saves the Day,
Yeah.
like shout out again to the tall one because he's just been a part of so
My
you know
father, yeah, he's
yeah.
my adopted dad. Yeah, thank you.
He is.
But
Yeah.
he's been at the vanguard of so much, and just like seeing them come up through Rutgers where I went to school, and like the first show I went to was at their house, and like it was like a bunch of emo bands, and like really turned me on to like Midwest
Yeah.
emo.
The first
And
show
then
you went
Saves
to
the
was
Day.
at Gabe's house?
The house on Easton Avenue. I don't know if Gabe or if it was like Heath
Wow.
and Tyler that lived there, but it was at the house on Easton Ave. I like bailed out on like my first English class because I was like, "There's a show," and these two twin sisters were like, "Hey, we're running the Food Not Bombs table at the show. You want to come?" And I was like, "I'm there."
Nonprofit twins in Gabe's
Yeah,
basement?
nonprofit twins. Yeah,
Damn.
nonprofit
I moved to New
Indian emo
Jersey.
twins. Yeah,
Oh,
Sick.
fantastic.
Yeah. Wild
Yeah.
scene New Jersey was.
yeah. It was very cool.
Oh man.
But then Saves the Day too, like in high school and in middle school, there was a label out of the town that I grew up out of, next to the town that I grew out of, called the Iguana Records, and they had a band called Felix Frump, who I saw like at the Nutley VFW 1,000 times, and then a band called Seffler, who went on to become Saves the Day. So those two bands.
Wow.
Because like Lifetime was a little bit older than us, so we were like, Lifetime's rad.
Yeah.
But and of course, if there wasn't Lifetime, there wouldn't be Saves the Day. But if there wasn't Saves the Day,
True.
there wouldn't have been so many other bands from Jersey.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there wouldn't be a
It's-
Census Fail.
No. Saves the Day. It's funny. I first got into Saves the Day within Reverie. So
Oh
it's a
yeah,
weird entry point where they kind of get like really indie. So I thought of them as like,
totally.
I thought they were like the Strokes or something. And then when I start really getting
Right.
like online on like Absolute Punk and all this shit, I start realizing Saves the Day is like
Oh yeah.
the fucking Beatles to these people,
Oh
basically.
yeah.
I don't think
Like
I don't
I
think there
didn't
would be a
know.
lot of bands in the Midwest that would have existed without Saves the Day,
Mm.
influence, to be quite honest. Yeah, a
Yeah,
lot of
I feel like
people. Yeah,
Saves the Day and Jimmy were like the Blink 180, the thinking man's,
yeah,
the working musicians, Blink 182.
Totally.
yes.
Totally. I like that.
Yeah, that's a beautiful
Yeah.
thing.
Thank you. I just thought
Yeah,
of that.
so I mean, those bands, and then of course My Chem came around, after
Yeah,
after like Pensy Prep kind of fizzled out and like My Chem became My Chem, like,
yeah,
undeniable musicianship, undeniable hooks, and just
yeah.
like a stage persona that everybody could grab onto.
What was
Um,
the earliest you came across My Chem?
so the very first show I ever played was in a church basement in Bloomfield called St. Valentine's. And a band called Hybrid opened up for the ska band that I was in high school.
Yeah,
Um,
ska. Sorry.
yeah.
Tara ska.
So the ska band I was in was like kind of a ska cover band, but we like headlined the show, and a band called Hybrid opened up, and it was one of Frank's first bands. And I, I,
Oh,
I thought Gerard was in the band, but he had not been in that band. He was in Nancy Ray Guns, and then he was in Pensy Prep with
Yep.
Frank.
yeah,
Um, so then we came across Pensy Prep again, like playing some of the smaller venues in Jersey, and then like a year later, my chem blew up with Three Cheers,
yeah,
and yeah, I mean, they transcend, they transcend New Jersey just because of like
yeah,
just how big personalities they are, and Gerard's, his universe, right? His
yeah,
Umbrella
This is
Academy, and
I was
it's
gonna say,
just
because
yeah,
I feel like it's almost like reverse personality, because I don't think of him as this like outwardly figure, but I know at the time too he
right,
kind of was. But it's just this like
right,
world building, like what the way it's told, I think, is they're in Sellout, right?
right,
And there's that
they
chapter with
are.
Dan Ozzie where it's like kind of like they're beating at Jeff Rickley's door to kind of get his attention, kind of thing, and
right.
finally they get this chance, and it's like, oh shit, there is something very special about this band very early.
Yeah,
Right, right, absolutely. I mean, and Thursday too, another band that
Yeah.
just, took the ball and ran with it. Amazing.
yeah,
I'd put whatever I said saves the day and whoever are that's Thursday is that for heavier music, you know.
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely, absolutely, spot on.
I agree with that.
Jimmy, that's who it was. Saves the day and Jimmy. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
sorry, Jimmy,
Yeah.
if you're watching, Jim Adkins.
If you happen to be. Oh, yeah, that's awesome.
Who is the like? So you guys are now new into the scene, and I like to think of us as the are we both unks? Like, is unk a feminine thing as well? It's uncool. It's not uncle,
Sure.
right? Yeah. So as like me and Amanda here, I feel like we're the emo unks of the journalism world who are very tapped into the new bands. Who are the new bands that you guys have discovered in this time now that you're back that you think are like, oh shit, these kids are maybe doing it a little better than we did?
Yeah, I mean, so because we've been such good friends with Fred Mascherino, and his label, Heading East, is
Yeah.
like he picks out, just like diamonds in the rough. Like we've really enjoyed seeing like Roses and
Yeah, I like Roses.
that
Oh,
band Challenger,
Mhm.
um, and My Cousin's Girlfriend's House. Those guys are freaking hilarious, but they write
there we
some
go.
really great catchy hooks. Of course they're not new, but like you gotta love Neck Deep. Like they're still like
Yeah.
crushing it, you know. I think in terms of the bands that we've gotten to play with, like we got to play with a band called Losers Club, on
Okay.
Oh
the red
shit,
jumpsuit.
they're popping up on my feed like crazy.
Yeah, they're so fun and like the sweetest dudes. We wish them all the best. Like, and they've been like consistently on some really great tours. Like they opened for
Yeah.
Simple Plan, and then they were on that red jumpsuit tour. I think they're
Yeah.
hopping on something else pretty massive. If
I
I'm,
feel like I just, they've like the last week and a half, they've been on my
yeah,
feed. Like Losers Club, if you're watching this, good job on the social media game. It has been
Yeah.
Yeah.
every time I open my phone has been I know that name. They haven't been on our show. We've never spoken with them, but
No, not
god
yet.
damn, their name has been popping up a lot.
Yeah, they're the sweetest dudes. They hustle, and like they're, they back it up. They're great live. They have a lot of fun, and like they really engage the crowd. So yeah, those are some of the bands that we're really like impressed by.
I know Like Roses is someone. Like Roses, check your Instagram DMs. We have definitely messaged you to come on.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
And I don't know what's going on with Sweet Pill right now, but they freaking rip, man. Like
Yes.
Oh yeah, I hope
I
everything's
hope,
okay there.
yeah, because they're so sick. Like I hope that all gets worked out.
That's right there. Awesome. So we have the new album or the new EP coming out soon. And then what else is next on the horizon for Tokyo Rose? Do we have more shows lined up? Are we seeing any kind of potential tour in our future, maybe supporting or otherwise? What's the 2026 rest of 2026 look like for you guys?
It's wide open. We've really dedicated this first like quarter and a half of the year to like really finishing up the EP and getting all the stuff ready
Okay.
for promo. And we've just been like writing more, just because like I don't know, the creative juices started flowing again. Like they'd been untapped for many
Nice.
years, and
Mm-hmm.
so we're just trying to harness that and see what happens. We have a couple dates I think that we've announced, or at least one date where our friends in Dead Wrong from Philly area are putting out their first record, so we're supporting them
Oh,
for that
nice.
record
Okay.
release. Yeah, I can't remember where that is in Philly, but I will. It's definitely on our socials. And
Beautiful.
then hopefully when the EP drops, we can just run with it, and we'll do some shows to support the release of that. Probably like a long weekend or something as well.
I love it.
It's a bummer that when we were young isn't happening this year, but we hope to
Yeah.
find our ways there. My parents moved out to Vegas, so I'm like, we'll have a place
Oh, wow.
to crash. Not necessarily
Yeah.
a party house, but a place to crash.
Yes. Yeah.
When
Yeah.
this is done, I have one thing to tell you, and I have another idea churning in my head here. But yes. Removing this thought from my head. Sorry. I'm bad at just saying anything that comes to my head.
Yes.
What's the biggest difference here? Because I mean, yeah, you're writing these lyrics. I'm guessing you're one of the primary lyricists in the band.
Yeah.
You're a young 20-year-old kid, angry, fucking fighting the world, trying to make it in the music industry. Now you're a guy in your early 40s. It looks
Right.
like late 30s, maybe. Yeah, mid 30s
Yep.
even, based on the smile. You're a
Yeah.
father. You're married. You're a
Yeah.
teacher. How the
Yeah,
hell
man.
do you find the ability to bring out this angst that emo music requires, or these
That's a
negative
great
feelings?
question.
Because it's tougher. Like as a young person, you feel so many feelings about everything. I imagine like life is a lot better in ways now. So how do we do that without ending up writing lyrics about said mortgage and preschoolers and stuff?
Yeah, right. And about colonoscopies. Yeah.
I haven't gotten
It's
there yet. I'm a few years away,
also
but
extremely angsty, though.
I'll be ready.
Yeah.
I'll be ready to tip my bartender there.
I think, especially being a preschool teacher and a dad too, it's like, I think what I'm writing about now is like almost in protection of the little ones, right? The protection of this next generation. Like, hey, like look out for this person, look out for this type of person, look out for, or maybe like check
Okay.
yourself. Like, hey, maybe like you might be
Yeah.
heading down a road that would be better left untaken.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's where most of it's coming from now, and then, I mean, the current state of affairs in this country without getting
Television doesn't help. Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
I
I
think
guess with
that
your phone,
influences a lot of it too. Yeah.
Okay.
not a great time to be in. Yeah, we thought you guys. I'm sure in the 2000s you're probably rallying against George Bush. Like this is as bad as it's gonna get, bro. Like this
Sure.
guy's Darth Vader.
Right.
Little did we know.
We might be begging for that guy compared to what we get now. Yeah, the world has changed quite a bit. Yeah,
Yeah.
shout out
Absolutely.
George W. Bush, I guess.
Junior.
Catherine, mark the timestamp on this one, obviously. I've only ever asked one other person this before from New Jersey, but I like to ask, the Mount Rushmores. But as someone who was actually there for a lot of the, I guess, the peak of this and
Yeah.
Sure.
the genesis of all this, what do you see as the Mount Rushmore of Jersey bands in our world?
Oof, that is a tough one. Just because we have relationships with so many.
Yeah.
But I have to shout, give props where props are due. Like if there wasn't Lifetime, then there wouldn't be Saves the Day. If there wasn't Saves the Day, there wouldn't have been so many bands. So I'm gonna give, I gotta put Saves the Day on there. I gotta put Lifetime up there.
Yeah.
I think growing up, you want to have like the Boss on there, and you want to have Bon Jovi on there, but it's like they're a little bit.
Yeah.
They transcend all
It's
of that.
it's a different world. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
to be clear, because last time I did a New Jersey Mount Rushmore, the old
Yeah.
heads came in there and got really upset. Let's be clear. The obvious Mount Rushmore of New Jersey is
Right.
John Bon Jovi, Mr.
Yes.
Springsteen, Whitney
Right.
Houston, Frank Sinatra.
There you
Getting
go.
that out of the way, what is the Mount Rushmore of our world? We got Lifetime Saves the Day.
Yeah, Lifetime Saves the Day. I mean, coming from New Brunswick, you got to give it to the Souls, the Bouncing
There we
Souls.
go.
I mean, and then
Yeah.
oh man, it's so difficult for the fourth one. I mean,
Mm.
props where props are due. Mr. Saporta, I'll always be a fan. I mean,
There we go.
my very first VFW show was a Humble Beginnings show where Gabe was jumping all around the stage with his huge ass bass. Like,
I love it.
I think Gabe belongs up there.
Beautiful.
Shout out, yeah.
Like just
Yeah.
Gabe or Midtown. Like we just Gabe, like you said.
Shout out,
Oh yeah,
Gabe.
yeah. I
Thanks
think
thanks for the money.
Yeah.
There's a major conflict of interest here. I'm like,
Oh, no.
greatest guy I know.
Yeah, but I
Handsome,
mean,
tall.
my skincare routine has benefited from Gabe.
It's
so
great, right? Yeah,
yeah,
the BROTEGE works wonders. Emo
Yes.
Kids at checkout. You get your first bottle for $10. Yeah, after that you enter Robb 40. Obviously, he goes on and does Cobra, major band, Leighton
Major
Meester.
band.
Hello, Gilmore Girls or Gossip Girl? Gossip Girl.
Gossip
Hello.
Girl. Later
Yeah.
married to my crush Adam Brody. So there we go.
Whoa.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
Gabe's
they're
married to Adam
married.
Brody. I thought he
No.
was married to a lady.
No,
She's like
Leighton
a
Meister.
designer.
Leighton
Oh,
Meester is
Leighton Meester's married to Adam Brody.
Yes.
Wow.
What a beautiful. That is like.
Yeah.
That should be like the first family to us. Maybe there needs to be more coverage.
It is
on
for
that.
me, but yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. She guest starred in Nobody Wants This past season.
Oh.
Yeah, which
It's
is really
the second
adorable.
time that show's been referenced to me today. I've never heard of it in my life.
Oh
Oh,
man.
well, you're missing
What is
out.
this?
La.
You know it too?
Oh yeah. I mean, well, we watched the first season, and then our Netflix got commandeered.
Oh no!
Yeah.
By K-pop Demon Hunters.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh,
Yeah,
I was like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Okay, well,
I was like
Ryan,
relatives. Like,
you
what do
need to
mean?
watch the second season. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. It's gold.
It's really good. It's gold, and she is in the second season. Yes, she has a guest
Okay.
spot. So yeah.
Amazing.
I mean, I guess when your husband's one of the main characters, you get a little bit of a bump there. But
Yeah.
they're adorable.
Absolutely.
They're the most adorable couple ever. Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Magical.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
I love that.
So there it is.
that-
There it is.
yeah,
You got
There it is.
Lifetime Saves the Day, The Souls, and it's got to be Gabe, right? Because Gabe was through it all the way through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I it's deep enough now. There's no way Gabe will see this, but like I told him he's like, "What made you want to work with BROTEGE?" And I was like, even as a kid, like it was very clear. Like you and Peter, the Fall Out
Right.
Boy guy, like there
Yeah.
was you guys were going to be successful regardless of the band.
Sure.
Like you
Yeah.
had like a different entrepreneurial spirit than the other ones, you know.
Yeah.
Like
So true.
there's a drive there. Like Midtown didn't work out. It's like, all right, fuck. Like, what do I fucking do? You know, a lot of other people will be
Right.
like, all right, next phase of life. I mean, that's
Right.
what Robb and the rest of Midtown did, I think. And it's like he's
Right.
like, fuck. All right, let me do it. Yeah, let me do something completely different.
Completely
Sure
different.
did.
Yeah. He
Mhm.
kind of, I mean, Starship is a real band, right? But like they have
Yeah.
definitely DJ qualities about it, right? And I think that's just
Yes.
Gabe knowing what's happening.
Right? It's like he
Yeah.
knew that. Like I was about 17, 18 when Cobra breaks out. I did not like
Yeah.
Cobra at the time. I loved the bands you mentioned, the Souls,
Right.
like a little later on, Gaslight Anthem,
Oh,
like
yeah, exactly.
I want that. I want every band to kind of sound like Bruce Springsteen, you know?
Right,
Bruce
He
right.
Springsteen
does, yeah.
and the Replacements with like Ramones
There you
speed. That's
go.
what I want in a band. So like I
Ooh, I
didn't,
like
but
that.
like Cobra, there's very clear like, oh, this is about to become big,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And that's when we talked to him, I was very like, I assumed that's what he did. And that's not what it was. You know, he's like, I just want
Right.
something fun. He might have been fibbing
Yeah.
to us, but like you know, it was very forward thinking, like, okay, people are gonna want pop music, things are gonna like I mean,
Yeah.
he went to Japan. I feel like
Right.
Japan is very ahead of us. He probably saw it over there and was like,
It's
okay,
the
like
future. Yeah.
yeah,
It
yeah,
is,
yeah.
yeah,
He went
100%.
he went to 2106 and he came back to 2006, was like, all right, you want some snakes on your plane? I got you.
Right? Genius.
Oh my god. Very
Yeah,
genius.
smart
Yeah.
guy.
Oh,
Yeah.
awesome. All right. Well, Rob, do you have anything else for Ryan?
I'd like to move on from glazing my boss and father figure to something else. Yeah, I have nothing else. I appreciate you joining us. This was magical. Talking to another
Yeah.
adult on here for a change.
Yes, it is beautiful talking to
Normally, I'm like the old, like we'll have a band on. Like a few weeks ago, I'm gonna make you a playlist, by the way, because I feel like there's a lot of bands that like,
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
you know, I'm gonna
Sweet.
make you. Are you an Apple guy or a Spotify guy?
I'm an Apple guy.
Easy as shit. I got you. I'm
Yeah.
gonna send you the same playlist I made for Jason Tate at Absolute Punk.
Oh, I love that guy.
But like I was at the Dear Maryanne show and they're talking about like how they're like, you know, older and they're 30. And I'm like,
Well,
they're like, how old are you? And I'm like, don't worry about it. I'm gonna kill myself.
Don't
after
worry
this. You know, like,
about it.
do not worry about it, brother. Like,
right.
but you like normally, yeah, these 20, which is very inspiring. It's like, God, these kids are so much better than we are in certain ways. But like,
Right.
it's nice to have someone on here that knows what LimeWire was and knew how to work a
Yeah.
family computer and has
Totally.
experienced dial up and the like. So I appreciate you, Ryan.
We appreciate you very
appreciate
much.
you guys. Keep it alive. Keep it going.
That's right. Yeah.
Good
And I
try.
cannot wait for that EP to come out. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, we can't wait too. I hope you guys enjoy it. And
Hey man, it's your boy Petty Hendrix, man. You tuned in to Emo Kids Anonymous. Check it out. It is.